Here's a question most cat owners quietly wonder, but rarely ask out loud. Am I actually doing this well? Not just keeping them alive. Not just feeding them and cleaning the box and taking them to the vet when something is obviously wrong. But genuinely, measurably doing well by this animal who depends entirely on you and cannot tell you directly whether their needs are being met. Here's the thing. Your cat can't tell you in words. But they tell you in every other way available to them. In their coat, their eyes, their behavior, their weight, their posture, the way they move through your home. Veterinary science has identified specific, observable indicators that separate a cat who is simply surviving from a cat who is genuinely thriving under good care. Here's what most cat owners don't realize. These signs aren't about expensive food or elaborate setups. They're about daily attention to details most owners walk past without reading. And once you know what to look for, you'll be able to answer that quiet question with confidence. 7 signs. Let's go through every one. Sign 1. Their coat is clean, soft, and consistent. Let's start with the most visible indicator, because this is where it gets really interesting. A well-cared-for cat has a coat that is smooth, clean, and consistent in texture across the body. No dull patches. No matting. No areas of thinning or excessive shedding beyond normal seasonal changes. Here's why this matters more than it seems. A cat's coat is a direct readout of their internal health. Nutrition, hydration, parasite load, stress levels, hormonal balance, and kidney function all express themselves in the condition of the fur before they express themselves in any other way. Vets consider coat condition one of the primary welfare indicators precisely because it reflects what's happening inside before anything else becomes visible on the outside. A cat under your good care, well-fed, well-hydrated, regularly groomed, and low in chronic stress, will have a coat that feels genuinely good to touch. If it doesn't, that's not a grooming problem. It's information. Sign 2. Their eyes are bright and clear. Here's one that takes seconds to check and tells you an enormous amount. Healthy, well-cared-for cats have eyes that are bright, clear, and free of discharge. The pupils should be roughly symmetrical. The area around the eyes should be clean, with no crustiness, no weeping, and no visible third eyelid, that pale membrane sometimes called the haw, that appears at the inner corner when a cat is unwell or stressed. Dull eyes, asymmetrical pupils, persistent discharge, or a visible third eyelid are among the earliest signs that something is wrong, often appearing before the cat shows any other behavioral change. Vets at VCA animal hospitals list eye condition as one of the primary things they assess the moment a cat walks in, because the eyes reveal stress, dehydration, infection, and neurological issues faster than almost any other external indicator. Bright, clear eyes in a cat who has just woken up from a nap, soft, responsive, tracking your movement with easy curiosity, are one of the simplest and most reliable signs that you're doing this right. Sign 3. They have a healthy, consistent appetite. Almost nobody frames appetite as a care indicator, but it is one of the most important ones. A well-cared-for cat eats consistently, with interest, at predictable times. They approach their food with engagement rather than indifference, finish what's offered without leaving significant amounts, and don't cycle through phases of refusal and sudden ravenous eating. Here's the thing most owners miss. Consistent appetite is as much about emotional well-being as physical health. Cats under chronic stress, in environments with unresolved conflict or unpredictable routines, frequently show disrupted eating patterns even when there's nothing physically wrong with them. A cat who eats well, consistently, is a cat whose environment feels stable and safe enough for their nervous system to allow normal digestive function. Appetite changes, sudden refusal, dramatic reduction, or obsessive overconsumption are among the first behavioral signals of both medical and environmental problems. Consistent, engaged eating is the baseline that means both categories are being managed well. Sign 4. Their weight is stable and appropriate. Now you might be thinking, asterisk, my cat seems fine, I don't need to check their weight. Here's what most owners don't realize. Obesity is the most common preventable health condition in domestic cats. And most owners don't catch it until it's significantly advanced, because the change happens gradually, and because a slightly rounder cat can still seem perfectly normal in everyday life. A well-cared-for cat has a body condition where you can feel the ribs with gentle pressure, but not see them. There's a visible waist when viewed from above. The belly doesn't sway noticeably when they walk. Run your hands along your cat's sides right now. If you have to press firmly to find the ribs, or if you can't find them at all, that's information your cat's daily behavior hasn't been giving you. Weight management is one of the clearest and most measurable indicators of proactive, attentive care. Sign 5. Their litter box habits are regular and unchanged. Here's the one most owners underestimate completely, and the one vets consider most diagnostically valuable. A well-cared-for cat uses their litter box consistently, without straining, without vocalizing during use, and without suddenly changing their patterns. The output, frequency, volume, consistency stays roughly the same day to day. Changes in litter box behavior are among the earliest and most reliable indicators of medical problems. Urinary tract infections, kidney disease, digestive issues, and pain from arthritis often express themselves in litter box behavior before any other symptom appears. An owner who monitors their cat's litter box daily, not just to clean it, but to observe it, is an owner who catches these changes early enough to matter. Regular, unchanged litter box habits are not boring. They are one of the most reassuring signs a well-cared-for cat can give you. Sign 6. They play, even briefly, every day. Almost nobody talks about play as a health indicator. It is one of the most important ones. A well-cared-for cat engages in play behavior, even briefly, even at low intensity in an older cat, every day. The hunting instinct doesn't disappear with age or domestication. It expresses itself, or it suppresses itself, when something is wrong. A cat who has completely stopped engaging with any play stimulus, who shows no interest in movement or toys or even a passing insect on the window, is a cat whose energy, pain levels, or emotional state have shifted in a way worth investigating. Purina's research confirms that healthy energy and regular activity are primary indicators of good overall health across all life stages. Brief, spontaneous play, even a few minutes of stalking a dust mote or batting at a toy, is your cat telling you their body feels good enough to be curious. That matters more than most owners realize. Sign 7. They seek you out, not just for food. Here's the final sign and the most meaningful one. A well-cared-for cat seeks out their person's company outside of feeding time. They follow you. They position themselves near you. They initiate contact that has nothing to do with being hungry. This is important because it's a behavioral indicator of emotional well-being, the dimension of cat health that veterinary science now recognizes as equally important as physical health. Modern veterinary guidelines explicitly state that emotional health, mental stimulation, and positive social interaction are indicators of a thriving cat, not optional extras. A cat who only interacts with you around food is a cat whose social and emotional needs may not be fully met. A cat who seeks you out in the quiet moments, sitting near you for no reason, following you between rooms, initiating contact when nothing is being offered, is a cat whose emotional world is genuinely well cared for. Actionable takeaways. Go through these 7 right now. Not in your memory of your cat generally, in the last 48 hours specifically. Coat condition, eye clarity, appetite,
Weight,
litter box consistency, Play behavior. Social seeking. If 6 or 7 of these are clearly present, you're doing this well. Not perfectly. No owner does this perfectly, but genuinely, measurably well, in ways that show up in your cat's body and behavior every single day. And if 1 or 2 are missing, that's not failure. That's a starting point. One change, addressed today, adds another deposit to the account your cat is keeping of everything you've given them. Here's what 7 signs add up to. Not a perfect owner. There is no such thing. But an attentive one, someone who looks, who notices, who catches the small things before they become large ones, and who gives this animal a life that shows up in their coat. Their eyes, their appetite, their curiosity, and the quiet way they choose to be near you even when nothing is being asked. Your cat cannot say, "Thank you." But every one of these 7 signs is the closest thing they have to it. How many of these 7 does your cat show right now? Drop your number in the comments. And if one of them made you look at your cat differently today, tell me which one. I read every single one. If you made it this far, you understand something most people never will. Cats aren't just pets. They're complex, emotional, intelligent beings. Tap the video on your screen to keep learning the secret language of cats. And subscribe to Cat Class because understanding your cat changes everything.